What's up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be showcasing, or at least sharing, the plan that I have right now for the expansion of my business. Now, that plan is constantly evolving, but I do have a general idea of where I want to go and how I plan to expand my business, sort of in the ether. If you recall from the last few videos that I've posted, if you've been paying attention at all, so far what I've done is I've been able to create a website. I've focused a lot of attention on creating content, specifically content that's going to be useful for some specific market areas that I want to specialize in. And I've really kind of identified myself as a commercial specialist in the area. Some really cool things that at least some of the things that I want to use as a metric for whether or not this plan is working is how much business am I able to garner through my content creation, and how much business am I able to garner through referral business? Because that's going to be two of the areas that I am focusing heavily on. Is on a content strategy that is going to promote people, specifically folks that I'm looking to target, to ask questions so that I can respond to those questions and start a conversation. And then on the other side of that, connecting with referral partners, specifically residential agents that are not interested or wanting to touch commercial projects, and finding ways to help them understand what they can do as a residential agent, doing maybe some smaller commercial activity, and what elements might be better off for them to refer that out to someone who specializes in commercial, with my goal being that I would be the person that they ultimately refer business to. Now, in terms of the steps that I'm working towards that right now, like I said, I've already started the content creation part. I am focused heavily on putting anywhere between 2 and 4 pieces of short form content online, on multiple platforms, including LinkedIn, Instagram, YouTube. Facebook Reels surprisingly has some traction, and there is one more that I can't think of right now. Oh, YouTube Shorts. So that's going to be for short form, and then for long form is going to be stuff like this, which is really more a documentation of my progress. So this is not going to deal heavily with in terms of like my inner workings of business or trying to promote my commercial business, but really just kind of sharing how my business is growing and documenting that process. So hopefully this will be helpful for any other business owner that's out there in the ether that might want to kind of understand some of the challenges or some of the efforts that I've made to kind of build and expand my business. So I'm very much in the early stages of that, so you can kind of just see what's happening. My goal for the long form, this format that I'm doing here, is to create one long form piece of content per day. Right now I'm doing it on Monday through Friday time frame. I'm going to be exploring doing also the weekends, but I got to figure out like how I can be really efficient and effective at creating all of this content so it doesn't take away from me being able to do my regular day-to-day business as well. So that is kind of a work in progress, and I'll keep you guys updated as that evolves. In terms of some of the research that I did find with regard to my particular business, I did find that there are not a lot of commercial specialists that are in my general area. I'm in the Lake County area, which is a submarket of Orlando, and basically what I found is there's sort of a handful of commercial specialists that are in the area. Most of the other commercial business is really agents coming from other areas, specifically the Orlando market and the Lakeland market seem to be the most prolific markets that are bringing agents or at least brokers into our market, which means that there's a lot of opportunity for me as a local agent to be able to expand as a boots on the ground type of commercial broker that can really do or make a difference here in our market. The target customer that I'm going to be working on I'm coming in as a generalist, so that means that I want to be careful with that because obviously I don't want to have too broad a brushstroke, but I do want to make sure that I have a broad enough layers of business that should the market shift in a way where a general commercial activity slows down, I have enough activity across multiple commercial categories that I can still provide support. For anything that's hyper specialized or anything like that, I will be partnering with other brokers that are either in my market or work within my market so that we can still provide a lot of support for those specific specializations. But generally speaking, I'm looking to kind of work across multiple categories and provide support across multiple categories. The other thing, I'm going based off of a format because I'm trying to really keep this formatted in a way that makes some sense, so I don't go rambling on and on forever. One of the marketing strategies that I mentioned earlier is, like I said, I did talk about my content marketing, so that's going to be definitely an area that I've already started. The other component for that marketing is really looking at that referral business. One of the things that I've already started developing is a monthly workshop, which I will be teaching in our market center. This is going to be to all of the agents in our market center to help them to understand some of the complexities and layers that come with a commercial transaction, as well as identify when is a good time to actually make a call to me to refer business versus a call to me on whether or not they can handle that particular type of business and what kinds of resources they may need. I think what I'm probably going to find is that some agents that want to dabble in commercial, once they see how complicated a commercial deal and dealing with a commercial project may be, it may end up being just too much to have to handle. I did make an attempt to do heavily, splitting my business between residential and commercial early on. I do still have some residential business, but it's really a minority of my business as I'm really focused on phasing that part of my business out and phasing in really a full spectrum of commercial business. But trying to do both of them on equal footing is really, really a challenge. It's very difficult. I found it to be very difficult. I think I'm pretty proficient at working in multiple areas, but really trying to work in the residential space at the same level as I'm working in the commercial space, it made it very difficult for me to serve both of those clients at a high level, and I decided that I really needed to pull back on residential and focus heavily on commercial if I really wanted to get into commercial space. So I want to share that experience with the folks that are going to be here in our market center, and of course invite anyone else that might have an interest in commercial business so they can kind of understand whether or not they really want to delve into being a commercial agent or whether referring business might be a better opportunity for them. So that's going to be a lot of what I'm going to be working on over the next month. It looks like I'll be able to start those workshops starting in May. So right now we're in April, so hopefully by May I'll be set up to start those workshops in May, and then I'll have one every month thereafter. I really, I guess what I can say, I want to provide some tips and tricks to help you guys, and all I can really do is kind of share with you what my experience has been. One thing that has been super helpful for me is really working on focusing on one thing at a time. I had a habit, and I still have this habit of trying to do multiple things at the same time. And what I find is that when I really kind of focus in on one thing, try to complete that one thing, and then go to the next thing, I'm much more proficient at getting things done. It seems to be a much more effective way of operating. So I've been working diligently at making that happen more regularly. The other thing is writing things down. So, for a long time, I really fought the idea of using a pen and paper, and I would do everything on the phone. And for some things, the phone is certainly helpful. I do definitely still leverage that. But what I find is that when I actually write things down, it makes it a little easier for me to reference it or refer to it. It also kind of like ingrains into my brain a little better. So I would say that writing things down has been super helpful. The pitfall, a pitfall to just be wary of is trying to do too many things at the same time, which is kind of what I said earlier is what's been helpful. So I would just be careful about trying to spread yourself out too thin, trying to do too many things at the same time, because at least for me, that's been really problematic in my ability to kind of develop what I'm looking to do. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of touch base with you on what I'm working on. This is kind of what's been my effect so far with the plan that I have in place, and how I'm working towards executing it. If you guys have any questions or any comments that might be helpful, please make sure you comment below. If you like what you're hearing, make sure you subscribe, like the video. That all helps with the algorithm. Share with someone that you think this might be helpful for. This is while my business is specific to commercial, the things that I'm talking about are really, I think, universal for the most part as it relates to any small business that's looking to expand. So I hope this is helpful. Like I said, if there's anything that I can do, make sure you ask any questions or feel free to reach out to me directly. I'm happy to help. Thank you guys so much. I will see you guys next time. Peace.